Welcome, fellow Phoenixes, to the Spiritual Phoenix Podcast, where we make a daily offering to the divine by putting our past on the pyre, searching the smoke for spirituality, turning the ashes into art, adapting isolation into connection, and manifesting mental wellness. I'm your host, Ross Cessna, and I'd like to take a moment and focus on what we're grateful for today. Today, I'm grateful for my appreciation of philosophy, esoteric wisdom, and spiritual teachings. All those things continually expand my concept of being open-minded. Open-mindedness is something that's ever evolving and unfolding, in my opinion and experience. And with that being said, I'd like to get into a couple quotes for today. The wise man must remember that while he is a descendant of the past, he is a parent of the future. And that was said by Herbert Spencer. And the next one is, the content of your character is your choice. Day by day, what you choose, what you think, and what you do is who you become. And that was said by Heraclitus. With the new year fast approaching and many setting up resolutions, I would like to share some wisdom gleaned that was from a mentor. It was gleaned from a shared source from a mentor. To paraphrase it, it explained that we should not create resolutions, as resolutions are solutions to problems. We are not problems. We needed our experiences to advance to a better state of being. It talks about focusing on what you want to manifest. I recently wrote a list of 20 goals I am going to manifest that apply to the 5 elements: earth, air, water, fire, and spirit. This concept is explained in The New Hermetics by Jason Augustus Newcomb. A link will be posted in the description. The importance of focusing on what you want to manifest is further explained by the Kybalion with the first Hermetic principle, the principle of mentalism. The following is from the Kybalion by the 3 initiates, and a link for that will also be listed in the description. This principle embodies the truth that all is mind. It explains the all, which is a substantial reality underlying all the outward manifestations and appearances which we know under the terms of the material universe, the phenomenon of life, matter, energy, and in short, all that is apparent to our material senses is spirit, which in itself is unknowable and undefinable, but which may be considered and thought of as a universal, infinite living mind. It is also explained that all the phenomena in the world or universe is simply a mental creation of the all, subject to the laws of created things, and that the universe as a whole and in its parts or units has its existence in the mind of the all, in which mind we live and move and have our being. This principle, by establishing the mental nature of the universe, easily explains all of the varied mental and psychic phenomena that occupy such a large portion of the public attention, in which, without such explanation, are non-understandable and defy scientific treatment. An understanding of this great Hermetic principle of mentalism enables the individual to readily grasp the laws of the mental universe and to apply the same to his well-being and advancement. The Hermetic student is enabled to apply intelligently the great mental laws instead of using them in a haphazard manner. With the master key in his possession, the student may unlock the many doors of the mental and psychic temple of knowledge and enter the same freely and intelligently. This principle explains the true nature of energy, power, matter, and why and how all these subordinates to the mastery of mind, how all these are subordinate to the mastery of mind. One of the old Hermetic masters wrote long ages ago, "He who grasps the truth of the mental nature of the universe is well advanced on the path to mastery. And these words are as true today as at the time they were first written. Without this master key, mastery is impossible, and the student knocks in vain at the many doors of the temple. And that's pretty powerful, and it may be confusing to some, and I would suggest that maybe you read it a couple times and maybe look for other explanations of it where it's explained in other terms. The statements of I am and I will are powerful statements. You are creating a potential reality with those statements, and that is further manifested by action. It is easy to say I am going to do something, but then it leaves out the key of action. Oftentimes in the past I would say I'm going to do something, then never build upon the finer details of how I intend to do so. With my goals for the new year, I wrote down how to achieve each tangible goal in plain terms. That way I have a logical, easily understood roadmap to success. Manifestation as a human is not the simple utterance or thoughts of what something is or what you want. Manifestation or thoughts and ideas of what you want are the seeds that are nourished by our actions that follow. Many of my previous goals fell short for setting them too lofty, making them too nebulous so I could never tell if they were achieved, having no actual desire to achieve them, or not being achievable without prior goals. The goals I have written for the new year are practical with my current place in life, clearly defined. I possess the desire to follow through with them, and they are achieved by sub-goals that I am already accomplishing to some extent. I can visualize what achieving them will be like. I can visualize what needs to be done to accomplish them. I can visualize being able to achieve them. Now all that is left is action. The action doesn't need to be carried through to a great extent initially. The true road to success is incremental advancement. Maybe you have a goal of having a $10,000 pre-made solar cabin, but you have no money and know nothing of the cabins. You can still start this goal by beginning to research what options are out there, sending away for pamphlets explaining the models, etc. This is actually taking action towards the goal. Then you can start the sub-goal of acquiring the money by slowly saving the funds necessary for the cabin. You can see your progress slowly develop, and also you can learn the lesson of patience in the process if it is something that you are lacking. The instant gratification of Western culture is a terrible burden in my personal experience, and I can assume that it is that way for many others as well. I still struggle with patience at times. I tend to be impatient, and I am getting better at it. I'm developing more patience, and I'm grateful for that. With your goals for the new year, make it something you want. Make it something you can do. Make it something that you can see progress in. Make it something that is achievable currently. I'm already achieving some of my New Year's goals. I want to further expand upon them and develop them. So what I'm achieving now is a sub-goal to the greater goal. And if you set those things up in that way, you work towards them slowly. If you stop achieving them, get back on the horse and don't beat yourself up for doing so. Realize that you can achieve what you want if you do the necessary work. I mean, sometimes don't even mention your goals to other people until you've already started upon the process of achieving it. People don't necessarily need to know your goals, because then if you constantly tell people what you're going to do and you never do anything for it, people might begin to tell you how you never achieve your goals. I was told early on that I never follow through with anything. And that was something that resonated in my life because I let it get stuck in my head. And I do achieve with things that I want, or I do follow through with things that I want to achieve. And I'm developing greater success at following through with things that I want to achieve. Granted, my plans don't always go how I see they should. My higher power has this great desire to give me what I need sometimes rather than what I want. Or they have hidden lessons in there that I need to learn sometimes in order to progress. And with that, I'm going to put this episode on the pyre. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please contact me via Facebook Messenger. Ideal guests will have had major life obstacles they are overcoming or have overcome, and will have an inspirational, life-changing philosophy, spiritual awakening, or the insight of lived experience to share. I do free tarot readings occasionally, and I'm building up a database so you can select a reading at random choice or read the most recent reading. A link will be in the description below. Also, if you would like to get paid to write, please click the link below. All you have to do is to be able to write 5 sentences in English. Also, please check the links below to all my social media accounts. If you're on YouTube, they will be at the top right of the page and in the description below. If you are listening to me on iTunes or SoundCloud, they will be in the description as well as on the main page. Please leave a review on iTunes if you like the podcast, as it'll help me reach new listeners. And please take the time to respond to the PodTrack listener survey, as it'll better help me understand my audience. And with that, I love, appreciate, and respect all of you. Love and light. Namaste.